Nomenclature 1. Nomenclature of acids. View the nomenclature flowchart to determine how to name compounds. This is the flowchart. The flowchart will be available during the quiz. The flowchart provides a guide for the rules of nomenclature. The term nomenclature means naming. Example 1. Name HCl. Notice you have two capital letters, which means you have two elements, hydrogen and chlorine. You go to your start on your nomenclature flowchart. You see an X and a Q. X represents the first part of the compound, in this case H. Q represents the second part of the compound. In this particular example, it's Cl. We go to start and we make our first decision. When you see a diamond, you have to make a decision, either yes or no. The first decision is, does this compound HCl start with H? And the answer is yes. The next decision is, does this compound equal water? And the answer is no. Is this compound H2O2 hydrogen peroxide? No. We're right here. This means the compound is usually an acid. Does it contain just two elements? If you look, you have just two capital letters, you have just two elements. The answer is yes. So to name it, you use the prefix hydro, the root word of the second part of the compound, chlor, and ic acid. So the name of this compound is hydrochloric acid. Name the following H2SO4. Notice that you have more than two capital letters, which means that you have more than two elements, and it also means that you have a polyatomic ion. SO4 is a polyatomic ion. You go to your nomenclature flowchart, and the first decision is, does this compound start with H? Yes, H2SO4 starts with H. The next decision, is this compound water? No. The next thing you ask is this compound H2O2 hydrogen peroxide? No. We're right here on the flowchart. This means the compound is usually an acid. Does this compound contain just two elements? I have more than two capital letters, so the answer is no. It does not contain just two elements. It has a polyatomic ion. So you're going to look at SO4. Is this the 8 ion? Looking at my polyatomic ion sheet, SO4 is sulfate. It is the 8 ion. You drop the 8 and add ic acid. So this is sulfuric acid. And notice that you do not have hydro. You only use hydro if you have just two elements. Sulfuric acid. You drop the 8 and add ic acid. H2SO3 is similar to the previous problem where you had SO4. Again, you have more than two capital letters, which means you have more than two elements. It also means you have a polyatomic ion. SO3 is a polyatomic ion. Our first decision is this compound start with H? And the answer is yes, it does start with H. The next one, is this compound water? And the answer is no. Is this compound H2O2 hydrogen peroxide? No. That means this compound is usually an acid. Does it contain just two elements? I have more than two capital letters, so the answer is no. It does not contain just two elements. You're going to look at the SO3. Is this the polyatomic ion sulfate? And if I look at my polyatomic ion sheet, SO3 is sulfite. So the answer is no. This is not the 8. You drop the ite and you add OUS acid. So the name of H2SO3 is sulfurous acid.